let us discuss one of the important topic in Java, how to define new data type, a new data type in Java. Define a new data type in Java. So before getting understand on the new data type in Java, let us we already discussed about some of concept called the class and objects. Here, what is class? It is a template. You know, all of you, that is called a template of an object. Even if you can write class is the collection of the real world objects. So for that we must have knowledge. So far what we have seen, all the previous classes, we talked about C style Java programming. But today we are going to learn how to write Java program. Write Java program to meet the real world problem. Okay, so here let us go to one of the concept behind it. The keyword class is used to define the new data type. All of you, as I said you, that class is a keyword written in small letters. There are 50 keywords. One of the keyword is called the class, used to define the new data type. We have seen C style Java programming, but today we are more focusing to the real world problem. Let us see the general format of the class. What is that general format of the class? You can see here the general form of the class type. So what is the general form of the class type? As I have written here, class name. Better to write here Pascal law convention, class name, and if you see that initially we have written here members, data members. Initially here we have written all the data members. What is that syntax of data member? Data type and the name of the instance variable. Again I repeat that, it is instance variable. As I have already discussed earlier, local variable. You see that, let us before understanding that, two things that we have learned. In C style Java programming, we have learned local variable. Local variable are written in the main method itself, right? Today we are going to learn instance variable are inside the class. Inside the class, remember that. So how this instance variable written here? Type of this variable, instance variable, I can use n number of such variable. Similarly, we can write the methods or member function, we can say here, data members like member function. So we can have several member function. I can write here the general form of a method, return type, name of the method. This is camel case convention. This is Pascal law convention. Class name. This is called camel case convention. We have used method name, and parameter list is optional. Body of the method. Similarly, you can write any number of methods inside the class as you require. So this is what the syntax of the class, declaring the class. What you did here, declare being a class. Remember that. This is very important. Some notes on that: declaration and implementation of the methods are fully defined inside the class. Remember that all the methods whichever I am defining, the body of these methods should be inside the class. Second point, that class declaration only create a template. Class declaration, we are declaring a class. Class declaration only create a template, and it does not create any object. Right, this is very important point. Again I repeat that if you have any doubt. Class declaration only create a template, but it does not create any object. That is, we have seen here. What is that idea? Again I repeat. Class declaration only create a template, but it does not create any object. So this is very important when you are writing class. It is not creating an object, it is just a template, right? Now let us go more deep into behind that. So for writing, let us write a simple Java program. Let us write a simple Java program. Write, I can use multi-line comment here. Write a simple Java program Okay. With a new data type, called box, with attributes. What are the attributes here? The box attributes are length, breadth, and height, with behavior, with methods or behavior, void set dimension and double return type volume of box. So how we do write? This is multi-line comment. How do you write this particular program? Line number 1, class box box, open curly brace, data members, declaration. What are the data members I specified here? Double. I can write in a single line rather than writing multiple lines. So what are the attributes I specified? Length, breadth, comma, height. Now write the member methods. Write here the methods here: void set dimension, open curly brace. I will let us initialize the objects dimension. Initialize an object dimension. Again I repeat, an object's dimension. So write here length is equal to 4, let it be, and breadth is equal to 6, and height is equal to 8 over this method. So member method section, you can write here member method section. This is data member declaration section. Similarly, we can write another method here. What is that method? So, double. I write here volume and open curly brace. Write here return. What you are going to return here? Length, multiplication, breadth, multiplication. Let construct an object. And if you see, this is a box here. This is called length. This is called breadth, and this is called height. So return this statement and this is simple box class. Simple class we have written here. Now the main part of this program is that the main method, the Java virtual machine that which is going to run the main method should you declare inside a class. So what I have to write here, so I don't have the much space here, I can write here for that. What I write here, quickly I write here class, let me write volume, capital volume of box. Let us create a class here, write here public static void main, as usual practice of this, string and array args open curly brace. Now what I am going to do that, create the object here, gold box object, and what is the syntax here, write here box, write here gold box, write the syntax new box. And what I do that in this particular problem here, I have to simply call the callee method. I will write here gold box dot set dimension, and what I am going to do that, I will can I go for here this part for understanding. What I have written here, line number 1, line number 2, line number let us see from the curly brace, 4, 5, 6, 7, line number 8. So what I am going to write here, I have to call the callee method, volume. So I write here double, let I write volume is equal to gold box dot volume, and system dot out dot println. I'll write here volume, just I write here volume plus volume. So end of main, end of the class. So what we did here, so few more things we should understand on that. Actually, actual object was not created here in this class declaration. Actual object is created in this particular line. In my program, actual object is created here. Where it is created, actual object. Who is called the actual object here? Gold box. And what is the dimension I fixed for that? I fixed the dimension here, length equal to 4, breadth equal to 6, and height equal to 8. That I have put it here. And now here I have written my box, but in my program I have told you that it is called gold box. We have created the gold box here. So the gold box is an object of the box type which you have created, and we should have knowledge about these things here. Dot operator. We will use the dot operator to access the class member. Class member, again I repeat, class member. It could be what? It could be variable, or it could be method, right? So you can see that my box.length in my program, you can see that in my program I am accessing the volume method using the object of the class called gold box with a dot operator. Which operator? Dot operator. DOT, dot operator. Also you can see here in this particular program, here also we have called set dimension method using the object with the dot operator, right? So we have seen that concept, how it works. So more fundamental concept on this, we should also know about that when we are creating the simple class data type. We are creating the simple class data type. There are two steps to create the object. You can see here, whichever I have written box, gold box equal to new box here. I can write in simple statement like this. How can I write here? I can write here box, gold box, semicolon. Then I can write here gold box is equal to new and box. This is the simplest. So two step to create object. First declare a reference variable. Which is the reference variable here? Gold box. Allocate the memory to the object here. Now this is the object which we are created called the gold box. Here I may write here my box, but we can also give a name gold box. Now assigning one object reference. So again I repeat that this is called a reference variable. Again, if any questions come into the mind, if anybody asks you the first line, talk about declaring the reference variable. Declaring a reference variable. Declaring a reference variable. Again, what is that reference variable here? I can say that initially it is null. And in second line, we are references to the object. Line number 1. Line number 2, it referred to the object. Which refer this my box is referred to the box object. So here it is clearly mentioned that the reference variable, how we assign the reference variable to the object. And another point to be discussed here, that let us have two reference variable. One is called my box, and I have created the object of this box object we have created, and so somewhere my box is created here and it refers to this object. Now similarly, now look at this line number 2. You can create another reference variable. So B2 is another reference variable. So what is happening here? If I am assigning B2 to my box, suppose here is my B2 is another reference, exactly it is not going to create a new copy of the object. It is not going to create a new object. Rather, it is a copy to the object. Copy. So what I can write here, box B2 equal to my box, right? Refers to the same object here. Refers to the same object. Now look at that in line number 3. If you are writing B1 equal to, suppose, or I can write here my box. What is that? I write here, it is my box is equal to, if I write here, null. Remember that still, if I am writing my box equal to null now there is no more reference to this one here, and it will become null here. What will be happen here? It will become null. But B2 is still referring to the object of box type. Object of the box type. Right. So that is what is our idea of this, and you can see that whenever if anybody asks you the general form of the methods, you should write here return type. This is called the return type. Which type it is? Return type. And this is called the function name, okay, which is called the camel case convention. And with this parameter list is an optional. You may write, you may not write, depending on the use. Body should be inside the method, and I already discussed you to access the instance variable. Again I repeat, to access the instance variable, what is the syntax? Syntax is object of the class dot operator, object of the class, again I repeat, object of the class dot operator, instance variable equal to value. And you can also same way you can access the instance method. So in my program you can see that this is called the instance variable. I have in my program, I have written another program here. You can see this program, you can see here. Yeah, you can see here. I'm coming back to that point. So what is that idea? So what I told you that to access the instance variable syntax is object of the class dot operator, instance variable equal to value, semicolon. To access the instance method, syntax is object of the class dot operator and method, semicolon. Again you may use, depending on that, whether you have to use as semicolon as a single statement, depend on your program. Now one more thing is that you should have a good knowledge about the return type. So a better way to implement a function is to compute the volume inside the method and return the result instead of printing this in there, printing there. So you can see that whenever we have written one function here, general form here, it is type, it is the method name, no parameters here, but the returning values, the length into breadth into height, that is equal to 4 into 6 into 8. So how much it is? 4 into 6 equal to 24. 24 into 8, it is 192. Yes or no? This is 192. Returning the values, and where I am assigning these values here, you can see here, when I am calling this volume method with the, now I was just talking about you in my topic that to access the instance method, here it is written object name dot the method name I did for this one. Also you can call the method, because here we are returning the value, hence you are declaring the volume type variable with double type here, and we are finally printing this volume. So that is the topic of discussion here in my first real world Java program using class box. And what we have created here, we have created an object called gold box, and that too we have also learned about a reference variable. Here I have created two reference variable, my box and b2, and after that my box I set to null, still b2 pointing to the object. That is the discussion of the today's topic.